Nissan GTR. Let's make sure I get in the right gear. Oh, automatic downshifts, gotta love it. This car belongs to Kevin, right here, and he's got some modifications we're gonna probably talk about. In case you can't hear it, this thing is not stock, which is gonna make it a little more fun, even though it's already plenty fun out of the box. Let's go over the visual mods first, because I think that's the first thing anyone's gonna notice kind of walking up to this car.
We got the Sabon carbon fiber hood. We got the APR 500 wing in the back with the Difflow rear diffuser as well. It's all black, tinted out. It's converted out, I guess.
Yeah, it looks great. You know, these things are pretty striking when they came out. There was nothing like it on the market. Visually, it looks awesome right now. It looks super aggressive. It looks like it just wants to beat you up and take your lunch money, and it probably will. So, because he's got some performance stuff on top of just making it look pretty.
Yeah.
So, what do we have going on in the performance department?
Well, we got a BDM 700 package, which includes everything from injectors, downpipe, uppipe, yeah, you name it. You want power, it's got it.
So, we're also on an E85 tune right now, and everybody knows what that means. Extra boost, extra power.
Terrible gas mileage.
Terrible gas mileage. Kevin nonchalantly showed me some dyno sheets. A little over 600 ponies at the wheel.
Yeah.
So this is going to be a pretty quick car, to say the least. I can't wait to open it up and really test it out. We already weighed the car. We're going to do the standard acceleration stuff, test the brakes, and then we're going to take it up in the mountains and have a little fun with it. See if the handling is up there with the acceleration, which I think it will be.
That's what the app tells. Let's see if it's what they say.
Have you taken it up in the canyons
I have
before?
not. No.
This is gonna be a good first experience then.
Yeah.
No modifications to the brakes or anything. The brakes are pretty solid. I mean, this thing came with monstrous.
It's our first obstacle.
Yeah, right.
2 liter.
Soda bottles in the street there, so that was exciting.
The everyday.
Little slalom built
Yeah.
into our test. Passed pretty good. So stock brakes, like we were saying, which is great. This thing came with massive Brembos, huge rotors anyway, so I don't think we'll have an issue there. We're running Michelin Pilot Super Sports on it, so really good tires. They're a little bit on the worn side, so that might make it a little more dramatic.
They came with some, they came with life. Yeah, they're all gone because of me.
No, that's fine. That'll make it exciting. We've got the GTR up on the scales. Let's go ahead and get that curb weight and front rear balance. The GTR's curb weight came in at 3763. This is slightly less than the claimed curb weight of a stock GTR, so that's probably attributable to the carbon fiber bits Kevin has added to his car. Still, a heavy car, but not too bad compared to some of the modern car weights of the heavy hitters out there. The front-rear balance of the GTR is surprisingly good, especially for a large all-wheel drive front engine mounted vehicle. At 55.5 in the front and 44.5 in the rear, it has a very neutral balance. No doubt because of the transmission being mounted near the rear of the vehicle. The The R35 GTR wasn't a slap to the face of supercars at the time of its launch. It was a gut punch followed by a Tyson uppercut. The GTR simply put the power down, devouring straight line tests as well as any curvy circuit you could throw at it. When additional power is added to the equation, as in the case of this example, the chassis is most welcoming and it pumps its already fantastic performance numbers that much higher. The handling dynamics of the GTR mask its relatively high curb weight in the twisties. Turn-in is very sharp and understeer is almost non-existent. Admittedly, I didn't push hard enough to test its ability to rotate due to its beyond worn tires and my will to live. The suspension is firm and sporty, but doesn't beat the driver up too harshly like in some sports cars. The all-wheel drive system is a supercomputer sidekick, always eager to bail you out when you get yourself into trouble. Disabling all these nannies certainly cranks up that excitement factor, as the tires will shred themselves loose as boost comes on abruptly and violently. At its launch, the 3.8-liter twin-turbo V6 made 480 horsepower, clearly targeting the Porsche 911 Turbo's performance marks. Boost that to over 600 wheel horsepower and it obliterates its target. The fact that these units were hand-built, allowing for variation in performance, adds an extra level of fun to the equation. This engine is potent. At its debut, the GTR styling was quite polarizing. It didn't have the low-slung traditional profile associated with most performance cars capable of putting down these numbers. I believe the original GTRs have aged well. The newer models have adopted the Nissan design language, which I prefer the original GTR design to. I enjoy the unique design touches, such as the vented hood, the interesting door handles, and of course, the iconic GTR quad-circle taillights. The interior of the GTR focuses its efforts on the tactile touch points. The steering wheel is well executed and grippy. The seats are well bolstered yet comfortable, and the paddle shifters feel solid and yield a rewarding feeling of engagement while banging through the gears. Let's be honest, you buy the GTR for the performance, not the interior opulence. The long-awaited return of the GTR for the 2009 model year was the automotive hype event of the decade. Expectations were high, and the GTR delivered. But that was nearly a decade ago. The horsepower wars have drastically changed the performance car landscape, and supercars are just, well, more super. A stock 2009 GTR may find itself falling behind modern performance cars, but not the modified example that we have here today. And that's just it. The GTR isn't a moment-in-time car. It's a highly modifiable platform, able to keep pace with any of these new upstarts. Inject 600 wheel horsepower or more into Godzilla, and he will challenge anyone on the drag strip, canyon roads, or racetrack. In conclusion, a stock early model R35 GTR may have lost the battle to advancements in performance, but a modified example like we have tested here today welcomes all challengers to take a shot at its title as King of the Monsters.